Today, my story is about Spencer, the resilient cat. Now, Spencer was a very playful little kitten. But one day, he forgot what his mother had said to him about don't run across the road. And he ran across the road without looking, and there was a screech of brakes, and poor Spencer was hit by the car, and the wheel ran over one of his legs, which was really, really sad. And some lovely passerby picked him up very, very carefully and took him to the vet. Now, who's a vet? Do we know what vets do? No? Vets are doctors for animals, all right? So, Spencer was taken to the vet, and the vet's name was Richard. And Richard looked at him, and he took some x-rays, and then he rang a friend. His friend's name was Joanna. Joanna, he rang up at midnight on Christmas Day, and Joanna was asleep, and she wondered who on earth would be ringing up at this hour of Christmas Day. Isn't everybody meant to be asleep? And so she picked up the phone and said, hello. And Richard said, hello, Joanna, do you remember me? I'm Richard, I'm the vet, and I live on the other side of town. Now, there's been an accident, and this poor little pussy has come in, and it's got a broken leg, front leg, and it's been hit on the head, and it's got some very sore broken ribs. And I'm not sure whether it will survive. So I need to find out, would you be willing to look after it if I do the operations? And he was going to do the operation for free. Wasn't that kind? So Joanna said, look, I'm already busy looking after four dogs and 3 cats, but yes, I will look after him. So Richard said, well, that's lovely, because otherwise I would have had to put him down, and that would have been the end of poor Spencer. So Spencer had his operation, and for a while he had a very sore head and a very sore operation site on the shoulder where he had lost his leg, and he had some sore ribs, and he meowed, very high-pitched meow, 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 all the time, because he was wanting his mother, and he was feeling sad and sore. Meow, meow, meow. And Joanna looked after him, and Joanna had 2 girls who were a bit bigger than you, and they helped, and they fed him milk through an eyedropper or a syringe, and they also vitamised up a little bit of cat food with the milk, and also dropped that into his mouth whenever he was meowing. And gradually, poor little Spencer started to get a bit better. But he still meowed because he was sore and sorry. And he was missing his mother. But do you know what happened? Here was Spencer. Sorry, not that one. Yeah. One of the cats who lived with Joanna's name was Cheesy Chops. Can you see Cheesy Chops? It's the goldy-looking one. And Cheesy Chops recognised that Spencer was a poor little kitten and wanting his mother. And so Cheesy Chops hopped into Spencer's bed, and Cheesy Chops purred, and Cheesy Chops licked him, and Cheesy Chops said in cat language, Spencer, you're going to get better. Don't worry. I'm here. I'll keep you warm. Wasn't that a kind cat? So Cheesy Chops and Spencer made a very good pair, and they bonded. Bonded means they had a special friendship, okay? So anyway, Spencer got better. And one day Spencer came down the hallway, and he would take one step and fall over and say meow, and one step and fall over and say meow, and he was wanting to sit on the family's knee. So Joanna came and picked him up and put him on her knee. And she looked after him, and gradually the girls really liked having him on their knees as well. And one of the older girl, eventually, years down the track when she shifted out of home, she took Spencer with her. But I'm going past, and Spencer got to be really cheeky and playful. One day he climbed up on top of the cupboards and found out he didn't have an extra leg to jump down with. So he meowed and he meowed, and he finally got somebody's attention, and somebody came and lifted him down off the top of the cupboards. Wasn't that a funny thing for a cat to do? I can remember my cats used to love being up on top of my cupboards. Anyway, Spencer had a very sad time because one day when Joanna came in, she heard Spencer running up to the door saying, "Rrr, rrr, rrr," and it wasn't his usual high-pitched meow. And so he turned around and she followed him, and she found that poor Cheesy Chops had had a stroke. He had had an injury to his brain that just happens in the blood vessels. And Cheesy Chops needed to go to the vet, and Cheesy Chops didn't last very long, and poor Spencer was very, very sad. Have you ever lost somebody that you loved? Maybe you lost a friend who shifted away, or maybe some of our older grandmas or grandpas pass away. And so Spencer was missing Cheesy Chops very much, and he would moan and he would cry, and he was very sad for a while, but the girls comforted him, and gradually he got back to being a happy cat. And what I wanted to say was, through all of these tough experiences of having been run over and having to survive an operation and having to survive the loss of your very best friend, Cheesy Chops was a very resilient cat. What does resilience mean? Resilience means we patiently trust God and work through the difficulties. So thank you for listening. And Miss Alana here has a very special bag for you to take back with you to your seats. So thank you. Bye.